Ciao a tutti ragazzi e bentornati su Dragon Age Origins. Stiamo per andare verso una nuova location. Partiamo!
Bad dreams, huh?
Sembrava così reale.
Well, it is real, sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
L'arcidemone. State parlando del drago?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Grazie Alistair, lo apprezzo davvero.
That's what I'm here for. To deliver unpleasant news and witty one-liners. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Ah, siamo all'accampamento. Prima di andarcene a zonzo per tutto il continente, direi di parlare un po' con i nostri compagni, soprattutto con loro.
Good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennec at your service once again. I saw your camp and remember the kind offer that you made the last time we met. And is there anywhere safer for a poor merchant and his son to sleep? I think not. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Potete restare, ma fate attenzione.
Wonderful. Thank the kind lady, won't you, boy?
Thank you, kind lady.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Vabbè, alla fine si sono accollati lo stesso. Lui credo sia un DLC, quindi ci penseremo un'altra volta. Andiamo a parlare con Morrigan.
What do you wish of me?
Vorrei chiederti una cosa.
If you must.
Sei cresciuta nelle selve Corcari?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
Puoi farlo se vuoi.
Oh, what luck. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time, I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
E non ti hanno mai notata?
For the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Lo immagino.
I rather doubt that. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
Una reazione pronta.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Il contatto fisico, come per esempio una stretta di mano.
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Sembra che il destino ti abbia giocato un brutto scherzo.
You are a fine one to be pointing out the humor of fate. Shall we examine your predicament on the whole? Let's not. Me? I prefer the jest on me to the jest on you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Vediamo se abbiamo qualche regalo per Morrigan.
I am grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
Ebbene sì, a Morrigan piacciono I gioielli.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Regalando le cose giuste ai tuoi compagni puoi guadagnare dei punti di apprezzamento. Vedi, approvazione, in questo caso è ancora neutrale. Man mano che scende potrebbero anche arrivare a lasciare il party. E invece guadagnando approvazione diventeranno i tuoi migliori amici, diciamo così. Ok, non disturbiamo Morrigan e magari andiamo a parlare con Leliana.
Yes?
Vorrei parlarvi.
Well, here I am.
Com'era la vita nel monastero della chiesa?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Condiscendenti? In che senso?
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
E voi cosa rispondevate?
What can I say to them? What they believe is what the chantry says, and the chantry is infallible, yes? Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
Ok, mi sa che abbiamo un regalo anche per Leliana. Il simbolo di Andraste di bronzo.
That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say.
Andiamo da Stena adesso.
Why are we stopping?
Lavoriamo insieme, quindi credo che dovrei conoscerti.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
Stai bene? Sei rimasto in quella gabbia per settimane.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
Non avevo mai visto un Kunari prima d'ora. Parlami del tuo popolo.
No.
Per favore?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
Hai detto di essere stato nell'esercito.
I am.
Cosa ti ha spinto a diventare un soldato?
Decide. I am a Sten of the Beresad. I did not choose to be who I am any more than you did.
Hai mai combattuto in una guerra?
I have always fought in war, elf.
Quindi il vostro esercito saprà come muoversi in un campo di battaglia.
Some of them. They aren't all alike.
Rispondi sempre alle domande in modo tanto laconico.
Generally, I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
È vero, andiamo.
As you wish.
Per lui non credo di avere dei regali, sinceramente.
What do you need?
Volete parlare di Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
Pensavo solo che forse vi avrebbe fatto piacere parlarne.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the blight and everything. I'm sorry.
Non occorre scusarsi. Non occorre scusarsi.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
Aveva voi.
I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him.
No, capisco perfettamente.
Of course, I'd be dead then, wouldn't I? It's not like that would make him happier. I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. Have you had someone close to you die? Not that I mean to pry, I'm just...
Ho perduto abbastanza da sapere cosa state passando.
Yes, I imagine you really have, haven't you? Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Quando volete, Alistair? Per lui, invece, dovrei avere qualcosa. Tipo questa.
I could get used to this, you know.
Ok. Ora che abbiamo parlato con tutti i nostri compagni, direi che possiamo andare avanti. Salviamo. E direi di prendere il gruppo di prima. Ok, queste sono le nostre possibili destinazioni. Denerim, i confini di Brecilian, la foresta dove ci sono gli elfi, Redcliffe, il porto del lago di Calenad, dove poi si può raggiungere la torre del circolo, il passo di Sulker, oppure le montagne gelide. Considerando che avevamo deciso di andare a Redcliffe e che comunque era più vicina, direi che possiamo andarci. La foresta, che effettivamente era ancora più vicina, però penso sia meglio andarci più tardi.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier.
Non mi piacerà, vero?
I don't know. I doubt it. I've never liked it, that's for sure. Well, let's see. How do I tell you this? We're almost at Redcliffe. Did I say how I know Al Eamon exactly?
Credo che abbiate detto che vi ha cresciuto.
I'm a bastard. My mother was a serving girl at Redcliffe Castle, and she died when I was born. Al Eamon took me in and raised me before I was sent to the Chantry. The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose.
Questo non vi rende forse l'erede al trono?
Maker's breath, I hope not. I don't think so. You don't think so, do you? I'm a bastard. And nobody even knows about me. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Kaelin's rule, and so they kept me secret. I'd never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry.
Logan lo sa.
Why wouldn't he? He was King Marek's best friend. I don't know if that means anything, though. I certainly never considered the idea that it might ever be important. Al Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, despite all the problems it caused with the king so soon after the war. He loved her a great deal. Anyway, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as the Arl's bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
Conosceva la verità su di voi.
She may have, but I think it's more likely that she feared the rumors might be true. I can't blame her for that. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall, and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Owl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
Ma voi siete un erede al trono, giusto?
Let's hope not. I'm the son of a commoner and a Grey Warden to boot. It was made very clear to me early on that there was no room for me raising any rebellions or such nonsense. And that's fine by me. No, if there's an heir to be found, it's Al Eamon himself. He's not of royal blood, but he is Kaelin's uncle, and more importantly, very popular with the people. Though, if he's really as sick as we've heard... Oh no, I don't want to think about that. I really don't. So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens.
Non la pensate davvero così, vero?
No, I suppose not. I don't feel very lucky at all, to be honest.
Ebbene, abbiamo scoperto qualcosa di più su Alistair. Andiamo verso il villaggio. Signore, salve.
I thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us?
Sono qui per affari importanti. Devo vedere Arlimon.
Oh. Then you don't know. Has nobody out there heard?
Di cosa state parlando? Saputo cosa?
We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Apparently everyone seems to agree that a blight is the perfect time to start killing each other. Marvelous, really.
We've no army to defend us. No Arl and no king to send us help. So many are dead. And those left are terrified they're next.
Hold on, what is this evil that's attacking you?
I don't rightly know. I'm sorry, nobody does. I should take you to Ban Tegan. He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you.
Ban Tegan, Al Eamon's brother. He's here.
Yes. It's not far, if you'll come with me.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They are obviously not simple travelers.
No, my lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Well done, Thomas. Greetings, friends. My name is Tegan, Ban of Rainisfere, brother to the Arl.
I remember you, Ban Tegan, though the last time we met, I was a lot younger and covered in mud.
Covered in mud? Alistair? It is you, isn't it? You're alive! This is wonderful news.
Still alive, yes. Though not for long if Ten Loghain has anything to say about it.
Indeed. Loghain would have us believe all Grey Wardens died along with my nephew, amongst other things.
Non credete alle menzogne di Loghain.
What, that he pulled his men in order to save them? That Cailan risked everything in the name of glory? Hardly. Loghain calls the Grey Wardens traitors, murderers of the king. I don't believe it. It is an act of a desperate man. So you are a Grey Warden as well. A pleasure to meet you. I wish it were under better circumstances. You're here to see my brother. Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill. No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle. We drove them back, but many perished during the assault.
Di quali cose malvagie state parlando?
Some call them the Walking Dead. Decomposing corpses, returning to life with a hunger for human flesh. They hit again the next night. Each night they come, with greater numbers. With Cailan dead and Loghain starting a war over the throne, no one responds to my urgent calls for help. I have a feeling tonight's assault will be the worst yet. Alistair, I hate to ask, but I desperately need the help of you and your friends.
It isn't just up to me. Though the Grey Wardens don't stand much chance against Loghain without Arl Eamon.
Certamente, vi aiuteremo.
How pointless to help these villagers fight an impossible battle. One would think we had enough to contend with elsewhere.
Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Thomas, please tell Murdoch what transpired. Then return to your post.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, there is much to do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdoch, the village mayor, is outside the chantry. Sir Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle.
Vado subito.
Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
Lo so, Morrigan, che te non sei contenta, però io sta gente la devo aiutare, porella.
I'm scared, Mother. One of the bad men.
Signora,
Sorry. Am I bothering you? I'll try to be more quiet.
state bene? Perché piangete?
Those things dragged my mother away. I don't know what happened to her, but I hear her screaming all the time. Everywhere.
How terrible, you poor thing. I wish there was something we could do to help.
And now my brother Bevan, he ran off. I don't know where he is. I'm so scared they got him too.
Non preoccupatevi, lo cercherò.
You will? Thank you so much. Please find him.
Silence, girl. Do you want the children to hear you?
Ok.
You know, we don't have the
Still no sign of them coming back from the castle, Murdoch.
So you're the Grey Warden, are you? I didn't think they made women Grey Wardens.
E perché non lo pensavate?
For more reasons than you care to hear, I bet. Still, there's no reason to think Ban Tegan's lost his mind. We aren't gonna turn aside anyone who wants to help, though. Don't take me for being an ingrate or nothing.
Well, we do want to help however we can. You can trust us.
Name's Murdoch, mayor of what's left of the village, providing we aren't all killed and hauled off to the castle tonight.
Mi sembrate piuttosto calmo considerata la situazione.
My men are certain enough as it is that they'll die tonight. They don't need me quivering in my boots. My death will come soon enough. It don't need me hurrying it along. Anyhow, you're here, and they tell me you're in charge.
Cosa posso fare per rendermi utile?
We need what little armor and weapons we got repaired, and quickly, or half of us will be fighting without either. Owen's the only blacksmith who can do it, but the stubborn fool refuses to even talk. If we're to be ready for tonight, we'll need that crotchety bastard's help.
Perché Owen si rifiuta di parlarvi?
His daughter, Valena, is one of the Alessa's maids, so he hasn't heard from her since this whole business started. He demanded we attack the castle, break down the gate, and force our way in. I said it was impossible, but he wouldn't listen. He's locked himself in the smithy now. I can't force him to do repairs. He said he'd rather die first.
Vedrò cosa posso fare.
I'd appreciate it. If he doesn't help, he'll die like the rest of us. What good will that do anyone then?
Ok ragazzi, direi che per oggi possiamo fermarci qui. Io vi ringrazio per aver visto il video, come sempre se vi è piaciuto lasciatemi un like, iscrivetevi al canale e non dimenticatevi di seguirmi su tutti gli altri social. Grazie e alla prossima!